All right. Wow. Great way to start on a cough. Y'all love to hear it. Y'all love to hear it. You know what else y'all love to hear? Y'all love to hear about this Super Bowl drama. I don't know why this is such a big deal, but it is a big deal. Um, he gets us. They ran this commercial on the Super Bowl. I missed it. I don't know what was going on with me, but I guess I wasn't paying attention to the commercials because I didn't even see this commercial um, when it first happened. I didn't even see this commercial, to be honest with you. And now I get it. There's so many people who are upset about this commercial, and I understand why they're upset. They chose a lot of scenarios that they knew were going to be controversial, that they knew certain people were not going to like. And I think that's a part of why they chose to display those scenarios. Um, Especially this one right here, this final scenario. And this is a crazy way to end it. Me and my wife were watching this commercial last night, and she was like, "That's a wild way to end it." And I was like, "It sure is. It sure is." But I think they know exactly what they were trying to do. And I think the thing that we have to ask ourselves is, what's the reasoning behind spending $28 million on a Super Bowl commercial when we are called to spread the gospel, spread the good news, spread the love of Jesus? Could we have used that $28 million to do more beneficial work within communities of helping people, restoring broken communities, restoring families that are in need, that can't eat, that don't have clean water, or even sending Bibles to people in countries who are being persecuted for their faith and who don't have access to Bibles? Could we send them Bibles? Could we? I mean, there's a lot of different things that we could have done with that money, with $28 million. Um, and I don't know exactly who's behind the He Gets Us organization. I could imagine it's a lot of rich people with a lot of money. And one thing I know is that them taxes, they gonna come for you. They coming for you. And when you have rich people who have a lot of money, the government's gonna be sitting there like, bruh, we gonna need ours. And like I said, I don't know who's behind these commercials. I don't know who's behind this organization. I think for the most part, they're pretty low key. They're pretty secretive. Um, but I would assume it's individuals who have a lot of money, who are claiming to be Christian, who want to put their money towards something good, quote unquote. But probably also want a tax break because that's just the world that we live in, you know? So I don't know the true intentions behind who's putting these commercials together. I would love to know it. And I would love to know the spirits behind this commercial, because although I'm not as upset as some people are, and I'm really not like super upset over the actual commercial itself. I get it. It's very it leans very politically in one direction. Um and in doing so, it's almost as if you are affirming the political and social beliefs of that direction that you are leaning towards. And it could almost seem as if you're implying that Jesus is okay with certain sin, certain lifestyles. But for me, the main takeaway that I get out of this commercial, and everyone's going to have a different opinion, the Spirit's going to speak to everybody differently. But to me, I think that as Christians, we do need to be more loving, for sure. I think we do need to be more loving. I think maybe that's something that we're lacking on as Christians. We've become so good at calling out darkness that maybe we have not really been thriving in the area of truly loving people who we don't agree with. And like in this scenario, let me go to the most controversial part. So in this scenario right here, I can get on bended knee and I can wash your feet, right? Which is ultimately, it's a service. I can serve you. But just because I'm on bended knee serving you, that doesn't mean that I'm bowing down to your beliefs. That doesn't mean that I'm compromising the truth that I know is from God in order to appeal to you so that you can like me. That's not what I got from this commercial. For me, I got from it that we can serve people who we don't agree with. We can serve people who maybe we're not even, we don't even like you. Yeah, we might even have some hate in our heart for that person, whether you want to admit it or not. And it may seem like we're never going to get along, but hey, I can still be of service to you. I can still help you. But just because I'm serving you doesn't mean I'm bowing down to your beliefs. But why serve them anyway? Why serve them in the first place? Well, because the goal is to win souls. And human beings are human beings. We want to connect with one another. We want to relate. There's so many of us who are looking for reasons to not get along with somebody, but there's so few of us who are looking for those reasons to come together. Because in a situation like this, I'm just thinking like if my church had an event where they went to the beach and it was like a feet washing event, right? Something to kind of show service in that way. If a gay dude was next in line and my pastor was washing feet, it would be very hard for me to believe that my pastor would get up and walk away and say that I'm not going to wash the feet of that gay dude because he's gay. It would be very hard for me to believe that. But maybe we need to take the time to really sit down and get to know people who we don't agree with, and listen to their story. Listen to all the reasons that got them to where they are in the first place. Be a human. Try to relate to them because we are not perfect. There was a time in our life when we were not Christians. We can relate to people who don't believe. That doesn't mean that we are obtaining their belief system. It just means that we can relate because, hey, we're human at the end of the day. We've all fallen short. We've all messed up. We all need the blood of Jesus. But let's try to take the judgment out of situations and let's just try to be as loving as possible for the purpose of winning a soul. Because Jesus, his mission was to provide forgiveness of sins to all people. That's why he laid down his life. His mission was to come down to be the perfect atonement so that all could be saved. But in doing that, a lot of people disagreed with him. There was a lot of division that was created. There was a lot of controversy that was created. There was a lot of disagreement. But that wasn't the mission. That's just what came with it. It seems like a lot of us Christians nowadays, it's like the mission is to divide. The mission is to say, look, they're demonic and we're holy. And every time you see something demonic, the mission is to say, look, put them in that category, put them in the demonic category, and keep us in the holy category. We're so good at pointing it out. We're so good at calling out sin, but we're lacking in love. We're lacking in love. We're lacking in humility. Now, do I think Jesus would spend $28 million on a commercial? Absolutely not. I do not think that, not one bit. But like I said, when you have rich people, you got rich people problems. You need a way to dump the money to reduce your tax burden. Oh, well, this seems like a way we could do it where we're glorifying God. We're doing ministry. So put the money there. They're going to run a commercial. Oh, this is great. So many people get to know about Jesus. It's amazing. It's a win-win. People get to know about Jesus and we get a little tax break. This is great. Okay, but is that really the best use of that fund of those funds? Do we really need this result? Like, I'm conflicted because here's the thing. I don't hate it. I think they could have did it a lot better. I think that they could have did it a lot better. I don't hate it though. But I also see why people do hate it. And I'm conflicted. But ultimately, let's put all of that aside for a second. And let's just be reminded that we are all human beings, regardless of our opinions, our skin color, our beliefs, political, religious. We're all human beings. I think we can all be kinder to one another on both sides. I think we can all be more patient. I think we can all be more loving. I think we can all be more understanding. And who better to model that than those who know Jesus personally? As Christians, we should be the supreme example of love, of patience, of kindness, of sacrifice, of service. We should be the supreme example. Because our Father was that example for us. He provided us an example by way of Jesus Christ. So like I'm just saying, like, don't fall into the trap of being too triggered by this commercial, because there is some truth in it. I don't like necessarily the execution of all aspects of this commercial, but there is truth that you can pluck out of this commercial. And I'm saying just focus on those things. It's easy to focus on the reasons to be divided, but it's a lot harder to focus on the reasons why we should come together and have conversations. Once again, would I spend $28 million on a commercial? I would not. Jesus would not. You don't need to. It's funny, like Jesus, his ministry, they didn't do any promotions. They weren't trying to, you know, hand out flyers, or they weren't doing any of that. Jesus was just operating in his calling, and all of the attention, it came to him through his fulfillment of the calling. We live in a society where it's like, we want to generate the attention, we want to generate the buzz for the thing that we're doing. But Jesus said, look, if you have something that is true, that is good, he showed us like, yo, you don't have to go out, promoting it. People are going to find out about it, and they're going to want to be around it because they know the source of that goodness. Jesus would heal somebody and then tell them, hey, don't tell nobody I healed you. Why would you heal somebody and then say, don't tell nobody I healed you? Because he's not in it just for the crowds of people. It's not just for the crowds and for the attention and for this. Like, no, there's really a mission that I'm trying to achieve. There's really a mission that I'm trying to accomplish. It's not just about the notoriety. It's not just about the sheer number and the sheer volume of people. I don't know what that was. Y'all, I don't know if y'all understand what I'm trying to say, man. I don't know if y'all get it. I don't know if y'all get it for real. I don't know if y'all get it for real. I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know what y'all think. Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.